Brutal Barracuda, a Sniper Elite channel.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the final part of Sniper Elite 5 Season Pass 2 with the Kraken Awakes mission, weapon and skin pack. In this video I'm going to be taking a quick look at everything included in the pack and then giving you my opinion on it. So let's Kraken on. So first up is the Patriot weapon camo. Now I'm not going to go on about this. I've not been very impressed with any of the gun camos, to be honest. It is what it is. If you like it, great. If not, just forget it. The gun camos, as far as I'm concerned, are basically just filler to make it feel as though we're getting more than we actually are. Next up is the American Airborne character skin for Carl. It's nice to see this skin finally arrive, considering we are in France, and it's always nice to see more historically accurate skins added to the game. It's just a shame that it's another skin for Carl instead of, say, Marie or Harry or Sullivan, or even a completely new character altogether. Next we have a new weapon, the MOD 712 pistol, or the Mauser, which is the game's only fully automatic pistol. But is it any good? Well, its effective range is 50 meters before damage starts to drop off, and its max muzzle velocity is 570 meters per second, with its damage maxing out at 73. Its max rate of fire is obviously the highest of all pistols, coming in at 1040 rounds per minute, and its fastest reload time comes in at 1.27 seconds. Its spread can be lowered to a minimum of 23 centimeters, and customizability wise it is joint top with the M1911 and the Luger with 7 customizability slots, and it's only the third sidearm in the game that allows the equipping of a scope. There is also a single suppressor available for the Mauser, bringing its audible range down to a minimum of 27 meters. There are various attachments to unlock, but there are no challenges to unlock them. You simply have to just find all 3 workbenches and then you will have unlocked everything. So this gun, much like the M1911, allows for some accurate silenced headshots at range with the use of both a scope and a suppressor. But this gun can also be absolutely savage up close thanks to its full auto fire. But be warned, as you will burn through your ammo insanely quickly if you aren't careful. And finally, the reason we are all here, let's be honest, is for the long-awaited next campaign mission. Now, after the death of Abelard Moller, his right-hand man Vogel was taken over as head of Project Kraken, which turns out wasn't just about the submarines, but also a huge aircraft carrier, which was obviously what the recon planes in Rough Landing photographed before being shot down. It was that intel recovered by Carl that has led him here to this secret Nazi port in the dead of night, housing a mighty aircraft carrier, and this thing is huge. It's Carl's mission to infiltrate the port, disable the carrier and eliminate Vogel. Now here we have a huge port with plenty of open spaces and sniping opportunities, as well as the carrier itself with its narrow corridors and tight spaces where you will be forced to switch to close quarters combat. Now the entire map wraps around the aircraft carrier, providing some great movement around the map, including plenty of zip lines and alternate routes to take. There are a decent amount of snipers to look out for, and many of the other enemies are Jaegers instead of just the standard infantry, which goes a long way to making the mission a little more difficult, which is exactly what Sniper Elite 5 needs, more of a challenge. Objectives wise, there is nothing new, unfortunately. The secondary objectives in this mission we have seen before in other missions. Even the way to kill the kill list target has been done before, albeit with a chandelier instead of cargo boxes, but it's essentially the same thing. Now, not including the kill list target, there are only 2 optional objectives, which is a little bit disappointing. I would have liked to have seen a couple more, but that being said, it's great to see that finally we don't have to destroy a single goddamn AA gun. I didn't think Flix had it in them to create a mission without AA guns, and I've never been so happy to be proven wrong. The main objective is all about getting on that aircraft carrier and disabling it. Now there are plenty of different ways of getting on the aircraft carrier, and then there are multiple different ways of sabotaging it. All you need to do is sabotage it in 3 different ways and then kill Vogel, and your mission will be complete. The map feels much more populated this time round, especially inside the aircraft carrier itself, where it can get a little bit mental. During my first playthrough, which took me close to 3 hours on Authentic, I killed around 160 enemies, and that was without any reinforcements. But there are still a few areas of the map that could do with more enemies, but overall it is an improvement. Now, I've not played invasion mode yet on this map, but I fear that due to the single exit point, that the camping problem that often occurs on Conqueror, with the invaders camping the castle tower, could also become an annoyance here as well. Because just like Conqueror, there is once again just a single ladder leading to the exit point. But time will tell if it becomes an issue or not. As far as the armoured vehicles go, I was a little disappointed to find that there are so few. Considering this is the Nazis' last chance at Operation Kraken, I really expected to see some heavier security in place. But for me, I think the biggest disappointment is there is no exfiltrating after completing your objective. Once you've finished your work on the aircraft carrier, a cutscene plays out and the mission ends. I was honestly expecting to have to reach an exfiltration point. I think it would have been fantastic to have to escape the dock as reinforcements start piling in once we've disabled the aircraft carrier, similar to what we see on Sniper Elite 4's Deathstorm Part 3. So I do feel that that is a bit of a missed opportunity. But overall, I really enjoyed this mission. It's certainly my favourite DLC mission for the simple fact that it's the most difficult DLC mission. And for me, that's the most important thing that Sniper Elite 5 needs right now. Difficulty. It's the difficulty that really helps to give missions the replayability that I feel they lack. Now, I understand Flix Interactive are likely limited in what they can do to increase difficulty, but adding more elite snipers and Jaegers was a huge step in the right direction. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking Sniper Elite 4 Authentic Plus levels of difficulty, but it is an improvement over most of the other missions. And a huge well done is absolutely in order to Flix Interactive, because I felt the design of the aircraft carrier itself was really well done. In fact, I think it was incredibly well done. It really was an absolute joy getting lost in that thing, and would 10 out of 10 get lost in there again. And that is everything included in the Kraken Awakes mission, weapon and skin pack. So for £9.99 we get a Patriot weapon skin, which if you enjoy new gun camos you may get a kick out of. It's certainly not for me. Where the hell are my gold camos from Sniper Elite 4? That's what I want to know. And the new American Airborne character skin for Carl, which is fine. I do like to see authentic World War II uniforms, so I'm happy with this one. And the new Mauser pistol is good. It's different enough to warrant being included, what with being the only full auto pistol in the game, and a third option if you'd like to add a scope to your sidearm, so the Mauser gets my nod of approval. And finally, and most importantly, the new mission, which I personally feel is fantastic. It feels like Sniper Elite 4's Lorino Dockyard and Inception have had a love child, and it's a beautiful baby Kraken. People rightly say Spy Academy is up there as far as level design goes, and I'd put the aircraft carrier right up there with it. Whoever worked on that thing has done a fantastic job. Whereas the mission may not have much new as far as objectives go, it does have something that no other mission has, and that is a huge ass aircraft carrier full of narrow corridors and tight spaces, absolutely packed full of enemies that once I went loud had me constantly getting shot in the back from soldiers coming from all over the place. It was glorious. It really is like a level inside of a level. I suspect once I've mapped the aircraft carrier out in my head a little bit more, it won't be quite as hectic, but getting lost in there whilst exploring was great fun. There's also a good amount of long shots available on the map, which is something that's been fairly absent from Sniper Elite 5, so that's also great to see, as well as the increased difficulty, which whilst not perfect, is a step in the right direction, and something Sniper Elite 5 so desperately needs. A few more troops, armoured vehicles and secondary objectives would have been nice, but overall Flix have done a fantastic job with this mission, and if it is Carl's last outing in Sniper Elite 5, then at least he goes out with a bit of a bang, and I absolutely recommend this DLC pack. So what are you waiting for? It's time to get Kraken! Okay guys, thanks for sticking around until the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to support the channel, don't forget to give the video a like. It really does help the channel to grow. This is a dedicated Sniper Elite channel, so hit the subscribe button to be kept up to date on all things Sniper Elite. And if you want to show even more support, you might want to consider hitting the join button and becoming a member of the channel and joining the ranks of my elite spotters here at the end of each video. Either way, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video!
Brutal Barracuda, a Sniper Elite channel.